Hey YouTubers, hey crypto YouTubers, this is coinpicker.us and I've got a really important update for you. Okay, one of the big issues in the cryptocurrency market is we don't have very good information on the single most important figure that we have to watch, and that is what is the total cryptocurrency market capitalization doing in terms of moving averages and things along those lines. We don't have that kind of information at all. All we have is this. We've got this big number up here. We have a chart that we have to read like tea leaves, more or less. We can look at it a monthly report. And it isn't all that difficult to determine where the next move is going to be, because when it fails to reach a certain level, or you can draw trend lines, you can determine it. However, it's nowhere near as accurate as the kind of information we get like this, where if we had a MACD or we had an EFI or a stochastic RSI, we would have a very good idea of where the general market is going. And once we know where the general market is going, I want to show you something critical that some of you I'm sure have noticed, but it's extremely important to be aware of this. Okay. Syndicator and Serum Labs are both relatively new. Syndicator's being pumped by Palm Beach Group. I'm not saying they're pumping it necessarily, but let's just say it's being promoted heavily. So I wouldn't even count it in this. This just started in January, so it's an ICO. Next is kind of a mystery of why it's bouncing up, because it is somewhat of a dead project. Ardor is taking over for Next. MaidSafeCoin, legitimate. CryptoNext, VeChain, obviously very legitimate. EOS, PivX, Walton, all of these. But these are really treading water, 1.74% kind of treading water, but it's obviously not going down. That's great. And so out of all 100 coins on the first page, or projects, I would say roughly 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7. So maybe 7 of them are moving counter trend. These are being pumped up by the advertising, and Serum Labs is in the same boat. Pumped, maybe extreme. They're being promoted heavily right now. I would say give it a day or two. When things settle down, I would not be a bit surprised if these don't reverse trend and go down. That's what I think. Give it a couple of days. It'll probably go down, because they're a long way away from producing. Long way away from producing. This Serum Labs token, I think, is the new cell phone technology, blockchain telephone, and computer, both at reasonably good prices. However, it remains to be seen when those will be produced. At least a year, I think, along those lines. So Next is a bit of a shock. I don't know why that's bouncing up, but that's great that it is. So if we have 93% of all the projects moving in unison, in lockstep, and of course this is just the first page, but let's go to the next page. Let's go to the next page, and you'll see somewhat of the same thing. These are, we don't even, in crypto world, this isn't even a movement. That's just resisting moving down. It's nothing. 1.2%, 1%. So you only have one project that is definitively moving counter trend. And I don't really know why. I don't know anything about Tiron. But so 95% are moving in lockstep in one direction. What does that tell us? That the single most important trading indicator we need to know, if we're going to buy in and sell out and know when to do it, is what's going on in the total market, because that's what is the big driver for all the other coins. And that's one of the things I'll be tackling. If you sign up at coinpicker.us, I'm very shortly going to have that. I've got the data already, but I need to add a few layers to it in order to present that. But if you sign up here, I will be sending that out, and that will probably be a paid feature, because it's going to cost me a lot of money to keep that data active and going. I have to pay for the server, I have to code it and do all kinds of things, but it won't be very much money, and it'll be the key for determining when to buy in and when to sell out, because this is a trader's market, as I've been saying for a while. Let's take a look at VeChain. Okay, I don't know why this is staying put and not letting me. Okay, well, anyway, all right, I'm just going to get, so we're at VeChain. Get out of my way, please. Okay, VEN/BTC. That's what I want. Okay, thank you. Oh, boy. All right, so I'm going to reopen the technical chart here for us. And I had sorted out quite a good number of indicators. Let's expand it. All right. Some of my favorite indicators. We're going to go with Bollinger Bands. We're going to go with the CCI channel. And Elders Force Index. And then Let's do a MACD. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. All right. What does that tell us? Well, buyers are still in control. It's getting to actually a bit of an even though buyers are still in control, a bit of an, if you had to pick one, I would say more oversold than overbought. But it could continue to move down, but VeChain has phenomenal support at about the at the 755 level, or even a little higher, but I would say 755 level. I mean, a totally reverse trend right there. If I had to predict on VeChain, I would say that buyers are still in control, although they're losing some momentum, but it doesn't look like a sharp downward trend is in direction at all. In fact, if anything, it could steady out, and then once MACD gets to the little bit more of a, because we're over the trend line. Yeah, we haven't even approached oversold, and we're not overbought. It doesn't look like there's a massive trend either direction at this point. Not a massive trend in either direction, but buyers are in control. So no downward trend in direction, tending towards upward trend, but not a massive upward trend. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. And I'm going Ethereum to USD direct, skipping Bitcoin. Let's see what happens here. And I'm using investing.com over TradingView. I think TradingView has some advantages. Investing.com, oddly enough, has a bigger selection because TradingView is somewhat limited on what they offer. But let's go with Bollinger Bands. And let's go with Elders Force Index, which I love, as some of you who have been following me know. And then MACD and Stochastic RSI on this one. Okay, it's approaching oversold. Sellers are sellers are slightly in control, but it looks like we're about to bounce up. I think Ethereum is getting ripe for a reversal. That's what I believe. So it would be a trading opportunity. Let's go to Bitcoin USD. I don't really like getting my data off Bitfinex, which is what this is telling me it's going to do. But I don't think the arbitrage price differences are that significant. A difference. So let's take a look at real quick here. I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish it would just let me. Let's do Elders Force Index real quick. MACD, Stochastic RSI. That's all I need right now. Okay, approaching oversold. Definitely below trend. Doesn't look like it's going to do an awful lot of anything. It doesn't look like it's about to bounce up. If anything, Ethereum appears to have more of an upward bias, but both of them are approaching oversold levels. So it looks like the market is getting ready for a slight bounce. That's what it looks like. Now, Walton or WTC, let's see here. Let's do it versus BTC. That's a more accurate approach. This is going to drive me nuts having to do this. Okay. Yeah, next time I'll have it all set up for us so we don't have to go through this. All right, so I'm 8 minutes in. I'm about to finish up my analysis, and let's go with an interactive chart. One more time, and let's see where we're at on this. I think, as I recall, there is an upward bias to Walton. Ooh, what is this? This is kind of ugly. This isn't what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. Why is it not showing me streaming chart? Technical analysis. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, well, it's telling me this is on investing.com telling you this strong buy. That's what I think. I haven't looked at it lately, but 10%. I don't think that number is particularly accurate. But let's go back to the chart, streaming chart for Walton coin, and see if we can get anything good out of this. Okay, yeah, here we go. That's what I need to do. All right, so let's take a look at some of my favorite indicators. Bollinger Bands, CCI, EFI, one of my favorite. And I'm going to bypass, I'm going to just go with Stochastic RSI. Okay. A bit overbought, and at the top of the channel, and overbought on the CCI, slightly, not hugely. And yeah, we're going to be either leveling out totally or trending down because we are overbought, and buyers and sellers are basically at, well, this is exactly what it's saying. We had a bounce back, but now buyers and sellers are more or less equaled out. There's been a little bit of a pop here, but it appears to me that if anything, that's going to trend down from here. So we're at 2,600 Satoshi about. We could be going, gosh, this looks like a fairly big gap to fill. I would not be a bit surprised if we do not get back to a 24, just under 2,500 Satoshis on Walton. So, I mean, Walton is still a massive, serious project with a lot of upside, but I can see that it is running out of steam right now. So the entire market, generally, I think we could see a bounce shortly. BTC, less so. Ethereum, more so. VeChain, still in a strong uptrend, although leveling out. Walton, leveling out to the downside more, but still massive uptrend. EOS, I haven't checked, but EOS has been another favorite one. And that's where we're at on it. But the key thing is that if we know, and what the message of this particular video is, if we know all the details about this, which isn't all that hard to do once we have the indicators in place, because we don't have indicators now. Nobody in the market seems to have them. Once we have indicators on the total market trend, we can then get really accurate with our trades on particular coins. And that's what I'm going to be bringing. So sign up at coinpicker.us if you're interested in that kind of information, so you can be much more accurate when to get in, when to get out, because we're entered at a trading market. I mean, that's what this is now. We're in a trading market. You know, if you want to hodl through this as it just keeps arguing down, you're going to see your whatever, let's call it $100 here, it's already 50, more or less 50. It could be down to $25. That's kind of painful. That is painful. Instead, sell out, you know, when you're at, say, 75, buy back in when you're at 60, sell out at 70, buy back in when you're at 50, sell out at 80. That's making money. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm not giving financial advice. But at coinpicker.us, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if I've added some value, and sign up for my list, and I'll send out my alerts and also give everybody the opportunity to access the most important information of all, which drives 94 to 95% of all the prices we're dealing with, is the overall market cap data. See you tomorrow.